Good evening, everyone. As per the initial discussions we had via the phone to get the facts about your organization, about your operations, we got to know that you are looking for a streamlined process for Procure to pay process. So let me take you through NetSuite today and to show you how NetSuite will benefit to drive your business more rapidly in this rapidly changing environment. So let's see how NetSuite will be benefited to you and how your organizations will be a next ready business. So this will be my agenda for today's demonstration. I'll be introducing myself, then we'll talk about few business challenges any of the organizations will be facing in today's world, and then I will discuss the process flow that I will be taking you through today, and then there will be a live demo afterwards on NetSuite itself, and there will be a recap session, and finally we will have a QA session. Though there's a QA session at the end, let's make it more interactive. If there are any questions, you can ask me while I'm doing the session. So I'm Madhava Ilangaratna. I'm a solution consultant for IMSA Singapore as well as Sankara Group Private Limited Sri Lanka, and I'm a Oracle certified ERP consultant. I have BSc Computer Science degree from University of Colombo, and I have completed CIMA UK, and I have 5 years experience with ERP solutions like Oracle E-Business Suite, Microsoft Dynamics Navigations, Sage, AdPack, and finally I have 2 years experience with Oracle NetSuite. So when it comes to business challenges in modern world, there are a lot of organizations having issues when managing their operations, because in most cases some companies maintain their AP in a separate system, AR in another system, and finance in another system, or else in Excel, and all the operation related tasks are here and there. So at the end of the month only they will put everything together and do the reconciliation, and there's a lot of work. Due to this, there's a lot of manual work coming in, and because of these things, the accuracy and the effectiveness of your collected data and your reporting and everything will also get affected. And as the information all over the place, there's less visibility, and if you need to review something, you will spend a lot of time finding those information. And also in reporting, because the data accuracy and effectiveness is not there, the reporting will also get affected, and also the regulations and compliance will also get affected due to this. So in NetSuite, it will help you take care of all these issues as well as some modern things that your organization can work on. So let me take you to the process flow. We'll be talking about the Procure to Pay process. So we'll be starting an employee going and creating a purchase requisition, and there will be approval flow, and the approval manager will be get notified, and then the approval manager or the purchasing manager will approve the purchase requisition. After approving the purchase requisition, it will be converted into a purchase order, and the purchase order will be reviewed and received when the supplier sends the goods to your main warehouse or whatever the location which you receive goods. Afterwards, the finance division will be entering the invoice which will be sent by the vendor, and the bill will be paid afterwards. So in additionally, let's say you have done a prepayment, so you can do amortization for that particular expense. You can amortize throughout the year. Let's say you have done a prepayment expense for insurance, so you can amortize it throughout the year for 12 periods. So after the payment, you can issue the check and complete the procure to pay process. So let's log into NetSuite and I'll take you to the process. So as you can see, to work on NetSuite, you will be needing internet connection and web browser. So let me log into NetSuite. So you'll just have to go to netsuite.com and your email address will be your username, and you can create your password to log in. So I have entered my email, company email and password. So I'll be logging in. As you logged in, you can see your dashboard. Currently I'm in the administrator in NetSuite. All your permissions, your responsibilities will rely on your roles. So depending on different users, you will be having different roles. So currently I'm in the administrator role. Let me change it to a purchasing and inventory manager role and show you. So as you can see, as soon as I change my role, my dashboard changes. So this dashboard also will depend on different user roles. So based on your different requirements, based on your different functionalities will be in NetSuite, your dashboard will be different. So before going to the demo flow, I will take you through the dashboard first to take a heads up. So as you can see, your left side top will be your reminders. Let's say you have some actions to be done, so there will be reminders. So currently most of the cases you might be having different emails sending you do this, approve this, likewise lot of manual works, or there will be a manual signature to be done. So without that, all these things can be eliminated from an approval workflow. So those emails or that manual papers which is coming into you to take your sign, you can set a reminder in your dashboard. Once the employee create their purchase requisition, there will be a reminder in your dashboard where you can see how many purchase requisitions are there to be approved. Likewise, you can see the requisitions to approve, items to order, orders to receive. Likewise, you can have, depending on your requirement, you can add in or remove whatever the reminders you want to see in your dashboard. So you can take a quick action as soon as somebody enters there. You will be reminded here, so you can take action without any delay. So if I move into my right, you can see I can have KPIs, key performance indicators, based on my functionality. Here I have said inventory, what is my current inventory and what is previous inventory and how it has changed, and see what are the inventory write-offs, what are the purchase orders not received, what are the sales orders. Likewise, you can have your different KPIs whichever you want to see based on the system's transaction. System will automatically generate those KPIs and put it into your dashboard, so you can have a glance. At a glance, you can see everything in your dashboard, and depending on your requirement, you can set it up and add any KPIs whichever you need, and you can change the range, and if there's any threshold, you can highlight, you can make it a headline, and you can compare between two periods. You can add standard KPIs. If you have a specific the requirement, you can create a custom KPI and put it into your dashboard. Likewise, you can change, and you can see the fluctuation will be graphically shown to you there. And you can have a list of things. So here you can see how the vendors perform throughout the period. So you can see POs today, this week, this month. Likewise, how the order receiving has happened, the trend and everything. Likewise, you can have a list of items into your dashboard. So another list where I have seen what are the partially received POs for this particular month, kind of a thing. So or else a trend graph or bar chart. Likewise, so what is the monthly inventory fluctuation, so what are the weekly orders, and a KPI meter, how your sales performance has happened throughout the period, something like that. So likewise, you can have different things in your dashboard based on your requirement. And let's say you want to do a presentation based on this information, click of a button, you can download these things into PNG, JPEG, PNG, SVG, and put it into a presentation, and you can do the presentation with that. You don't have to do manual reconciliation, all those things, and create a presentation. Excel, put those data into an Excel, create a graph, and put it into a presentation. Not like that. It's dead easy. All the information are available in the system. You can just take it from the dashboard itself. So that is the dashboard, and on top you can see this is a global search. It's like Google search where you can use any of the things within NetSuite. You can search here. I will demonstrate it later. So let's start with the demonstration. So I will be changing my role into an employee. So the employee will, you can see in the dashboard, the employee will have a limited access screen where the options to create the expense claims, their purchase request, their requisitions, what are the tasks which has assigned to them. Those kind of things are available in the Employee Center dashboard. So I'll start with the requisition creation. So in the requisition screen, I'm going to enter requisition, click on requisition. So here, as I'm the login user, the requester will automatically get populated based on my login. My subsidiary will also get assigned. So if I have a receive date requirement, I can put it there. Let's say I want to be received by 14. So I can have different departments. So management can slice and dice my report based on these selections which I'm making here. So department can be a cost center or class, whatever the requirement. Based on a requirement, you can put the selection, and we can do the configuration based on the requirement for organization. This is to show you how it is going to happen. So if you have different classifications, you can select it under the class. So that your slice and dice will be easy. The reporting can be generated for these department wise, class wise, different location wise, or else let's say if you have any other segmentation, that also can be brought into here. So if you can put a memo here. Let's say purchase of for marketing, some memo, so they can see it and section. So there's option to use an expense or an item. As I'm going to create an item purchase, I'll be selecting an item here. So you just can type here and just tap it, then it will come here. So I've already selected an item here, so I will be selecting ink. If I type it there, you can see it will get automatically populated. So from the list I can select and just tap. So you can put which is the location you want it to be received here also. So let's say I want 6 of this. So if you have a specific vendor, that also you can select here. So you can put estimated amount. So you can see here, this is for the marketing department. So put a marketing department, class, sales and corporate. Likewise, you can put different classes here. Say let's say corporate sales. Likewise, you can put heading in and then save in the requisition. You can see the purchase requisition is in pending approval status. You can see that. So depending on the configuration, the approval will be sent to the next supervisor who will be approving this. So I will be noting down my purchase request, that is 39. So now you can see this is in pending approval. I go to my dashboard, requisitions. You can see here I have several requisitions which I have created previously. So some are pending approval, some are fully received, some are pending orders. Likewise, you can see what is the status of my purchase requisition which I have created. So I have created requisition 39, so I can click view all requisitions. So there you can see 39 is pending approval. So let's go back to the purchasing manager where who will be approving my purchase requisition. So I'm changing my role to purchase requisition to purchasing inventory manager. There you can see I have the requisitions to approve. So you can see in my dashboard a reminder, as soon as we created the purchase requisition there, it has come into my dashboard. So we're clicking here. So you can see my purchase requisition is 39. Purchase of printed download marketing department. You can see that. So I can beep that. Purchase and pending approval. I can see the items and details, whichever the information. And let's say I have a problem here. So there's some issue related to this. So I can go to this communication tab and I can put a message here saying I have a problem, just give these details for me to approve this, or else any attachments for this. Let's say you take the approval action based on some specification document, so you can attach that specification document here, so you have always track of that. So let me approve this purchase requisition. I'll edit this and I can click to approve. You can see previously the employee couldn't change the status because they are not authorized to do that. So here the purchase manager is authorized to approve this, so they can change it. So I'm changing it to approve that. I'm going to save that. As soon as I approved it, you can see now it has changed into pending order status, where I can convert this purchase requisition into purchase order. I have approved this so that I can convert this to purchase order and create a purchase order which needs to be sent to a vendor for them to send the goods. So let me create the purchase order from this. As you can see, there are plenty of options available for you to do the filtration. So here, as I created it from the requisition itself, the requisition number has automatically populated here. If I come in from the dashboard and I don't have the requisition number, then the field will be empty. So all the requisitions which are available for me to create purchase order will be here. So as I know the requisition number, I can put it, so it will filter out my purchase requisition. So I just have to take it. I can select a vendor from here. Let's say I'm purchasing it from HP. Put it in tab it. So you can currency and you can put a rate for this, because previously I have to put an estimated rate. Here I can put an order rate. Let's say I have a contract between the purchase manager and the contracted price with the supplier. So let's say it is 35. I'm changing the order rate and then I'm submitting. So system will automatically be generating a purchase order from the purchase requisition which was approved. So the purchase order has been created. I go to that purchase order. Put the number here. So you can see, because I have already approved, there's no point for me to approve it again, the purchase order. So it has gone to approved by supervisor pending receipt status. And if your company have a specific requirement for you after approving the purchase requisition also to have a separate approval for the purchase order, that is also possible. NetSuite is having a good workflow engine where you can do a lot of approval processes and lot of flexible things. So using that workflow, you can do marvelous things within NetSuite. So using that workflow engine, you can do that. So as now it is approved, so then I can print the purchase order. You can use the standard print option available within NetSuite. You can do some customizations to make it like the way you want, or else you can let us do a customized PDF printout for you, and you can send it to your supply. Here you can see this is the standard one, which is comes with NetSuite. So you can send it, either you can change this, or we can do a customized purchase order printout for you, and we'll be sending it to your supplies. Or else, like I said before, here you can do the email to that particular vendor from here itself. So you can click on the button to email, and those will be triggered to your supplier, so they can take action on that. Okay. And let me take this a moment to take you through the vendor as well as the item. So this information will be maintained as a master data, the vendor information and the item information. These will be automatically populated, the information based on a selection in your transaction. If I go to the vendor, you can maintain their address, in details, their email, phone number, everything. And when you click on this activities and click on this email, the email which you have selected here will be populated there, and you can email. So you can see their balances for this particular vendor. Those information you can see, and their relationships, who are the contacts who will be handling with this vendor, whatever the communications you had before, their address information, their financial information, what is their billing terms, and if there are any expense account default, you can do it, you can maintain it there. Likewise, you can see their purchase history, how I have done the purchase with, and who has created these transactions, and everything you can see there. Their bank payment details, everything you can maintain within NetSuite. When you go to the inventory, you can have separate item number, the images, UPC codes, and all those information, and you can see additional information, the pricing, related items, those kind of information you can maintain. So while doing the implementation, we'll be training you how to maintain those information. For your information, just I want to take you through this to have an idea, and especially in the transactions related to this particular item, those information you can see. So let me go back to the purchase order. I rerouted just to show you this information, because those are really beneficial for you, because at a glance you can have a view of your item or the supplier whenever needed. And as I said before, the global search, there you can just put it into a global search, and you can open those information wherever within NetSuite. You can search and get those information available for you. So let's say the supplier received the purchase order and they have sent the goods to us, so I can receive, so or else from the purchase order itself, or in your dashboard you can see orders to receive. There's a reminder from that I can do. So for that, those functions will be done from the warehouse team. So I will be changing my role to warehouse operations. So here you can see there's a reminder for me to receive the orders. There's 104 orders to be received. So I can put my purchase order number here. If I know the purchase order number, so you can put it will open my purchase order here. You can see 313515 is my purchase order. So this is the GRN number which will be creating. So you can see this is the item, this is the rate, this is the location which I will be receiving, and you can change the quantity here. Let's say you only received only 4, so you can change it to 4. And if you want to maintain, let's say you are importing, those landed quantity information also can be maintained here. So let's see, it's just a local purchase and everything is fine. I'm receiving the entire quantity and I will be saving the GRN. So my GRN is done. Let's say I want to see what is my GRN number. Let's say I forgot it, so I can put the purchase order number here. Here it will come in my global search. I will open this. If I go to the purchase order, and like you can see, like not only the purchase order, whatever the transaction, item, vendor, supply, employee, anything you can search in the global search. So here if I go to related transaction, you can see what is my GRN number. You can open it there. So you have the track. So you can see the link between the transactions anywhere in the system. If you go to the right transaction, you can trace out the details. So this is my GRN number. Also receipt, item receipt. You can see I have received those items. And here normally purchase order is a memorandum transaction. We will not have any accounting impact there. The receipt is the place we will be receiving goods, and the GL impact will happen where your stock goes up. So those information you can see if you go to the GRN or the item receipt, go to actions and GL impact, you can see what is my GL impact of this particular transaction. You can see my inventory got debited and my AP accruals got credited. So let me return to the receipt. Now my warehouse operation function is completed. So now the option is, let's say the vendor has sent the goods with the vendor invoice or the vendor bill. So I will be going back to AP clerks or AP analyst role, and who will be doing the accounts payable functionalities to do the billing of that particular purchase order. So I'm changing it to AP analyst. So in the dashboard you can see how many purchase orders are there to be billed. So I'll click on this. So I can put the purchase order number here, or you can see from the list I can select. So this is my purchase order number. Either I can open it, or I just can click several purchase orders and click on submit, and I can bill all at once. So let's say I have opened it to different. You can see my purchase order for 6 months. You can see the purchase order quantity was 6. Now I have received 6, but still I haven't billed. Right? You can see that. So there I have the option to bill this particular purchase order. So I'll bill this. Click on bill button. So you can see I have entered all the information at the purchase requisition level. I have only updated the rate at the purchase order. That's it. So this information is captured from one transaction to another. There's no duplication of data entry. You have entered it once and it has copied from requisition to AP vendor invoice level. Here you can see. So you can enter the AP invoice number, which is given by the vendor, and all the information is captured here, you can see. And even for bill you can have approval status. So you can see based on the term, the due date is automatically getting populated. The term is maintained at the vendor level, as I showed you before. So you can see the accounts payable account which will be getting updated. So if it is different, it has to go to a different account, you can maintain it, you can change it here. So all these information are populated from the vendor itself. You don't have to enter it here and there, right? So save the bill. So now the invoice is created and saved, and then this again, after receiving the bill, you have to make the payment for this particular bill. So either you can straight away from the bill you can make payment. Let's say though you entered the bill today, you may be paying it later date. So let's say you complete it, and I'm just copy my invoice number here. So in my dashboard, previously it was only 150 bills to pay. If I refresh now, I have new invoice has coming in for me to make the payment. So here, so this has populated this message to show that the date populated. So here you can see there will be several invoices which I need to make payments. Here. So depending on my selection, as I said before, there can be several invoices. So if it is intercompany payable, you can select that. So depending on that selection, the invoice will be get populated here, and you can select the account which will be making the payment, your bank account, right? So let me open my invoice in global search. Let's say I want to make the payment, so I get the AP invoice, look at the AP invoice, and I know the number. I put it in the global search. Now it is pending for payment. So normally it's like that, the supplier is calling and I get the payment today. So you get the invoice, look at it, you can enter the AP invoice number there, and you can open it here. So you can click on offer button, you can make the payment. So here all the information are populated. So automatically the invoice number is selected and your bank account is selected here. Click on the button, you can pay, and you can either print the check, payment voucher, and give along with the payment. So here I will show you the impact of these transactions. So in the item receipt, it was debited to the inventory account, credited to the AP accrual account. If I go to the bill, you can see what is the GL impact. It has credited to the accounts payables account and debited my previous AP accrual account which was in the GRN. Now I have made the payment, so my payables should not be there. So if I check the GL impact, you can see my accounts payable has got debited, my bank account got credited. So all these accounting based on your classifications, your accounting preferences you have done will be configured during our initial process. Requirement gathering will be identify those information and will be configured based on your requirements. So that's pretty much it in the procure to pay process. Let me go back to my presentation. So now the demo is completed. Let's recap what we discussed today. So you can see how easy it is to use NetSuite and how easy to maintain those information. You just have to enter it once, no duplication of data entry. It's a matter of converting one transaction to another. Likewise, you can maintain those information using NetSuite, and you can see the roles and dashboard based on your different roles, based on your requirements. Those dashboards can be configured, and at a glance you can have all the information into dashboard, and click of a button you can see those information wherever around the world who will be entering those transactions will get reflected into a dashboard. And you can see there are a lot of functionalities available within NetSuite. Your manual process will get eliminated and your process will be streamlined. You can see like different roles have different operations to be performed, and those will get streamlined. Somebody will be entering and somebody get approved, and all those things are streamlined within NetSuite. Higher visibility of data you can see in the dashboard, and you have different number of reports where you can see those information. As I showed you before, from the purchase order you can trace back to your GRN, to your AP invoice. Likewise, you can have a lot of visibility within NetSuite, ease of analysis of data, and greater control. So those are few benefits, and when you start using NetSuite you can see what are the benefits we will get with NetSuite. And it's just a small thing we shared today, but with NetSuite you can do wonders. So if you have any questions you can share, or else stop now onwards. Thank you.